Welcome to the Education Assistant Certificate Program. I am your moderator for this session. My name is Gregory Malcolm. I am working from home right now, so if you notice that my internet's lagging or if it's going really fast or something like that, it's my connectivity to the internet. So also if you hear a dog bark or a cat meow, that's my house. So I'm glad that you could join us at whatever time you're listening to this recording. I think the Education Assistant Certificate Program is a really good choice, and I will tell you why. So why choose a career in education? There's many employment opportunities with the graduates of the Education Assistant programs. This program will prepare you to work with children in kindergarten all the way up to grade 12 in the school system and also in early intervention programs. The one thing that our EA program website will not tell you, though, is if you have a EA certificate, it also works if you want to work in like daycares or day homes or stuff like that. So it's kind of a dual purpose certificate because you can do a lot with it. And then once you have it, you can then work in that field for a little bit. And if you say, maybe I want to be a director of a daycare, then you could go to the next level, which is ELDP, and then you could go that straight. Or maybe you've worked in a school and you go, well, I've seen what the teachers do. I think I want to do that too. Then you can go from the EA program to a teacher program. And some of the courses in the EA program also go into university studies, so you don't have to take them again. So that's kind of a good thing to know in case you didn't know that. Salaries that you can expect working in this field is you're typically working with elementary students and secondary students. So you're working with elementary, junior high, senior high, and you tend to work in classrooms. So you're going to be working with a teacher, and the typical wage that you will earn if you have a certificate is $22.40 an hour. The average salary that you'll make is $27,495 per year. And the average hours that you work a week is 24.9. So not a lot of hours. So that's kind of a good thing. So if you have another job that you're working at, you could possibly do that. Or if you have children in school, you can only work for the morning or the afternoon. Sometimes the positions are accommodating for those kind of situations, so you could do that as well. Or you can work full-time as an EA in the school. Average months on payroll is 11.4. So this is a graph that I got from alis.alberta.ca. So if you want to just plug that in your computer and then put education assistant in the search bar, then you can find more information on the EA program. Well, being an EA in schools as well as included on that website. So I'll just kind of give you the Coles notes of this graph for you. So all the stuff in gray is people who are an EA without a certificate. So basically, if you don't have anything right now and you went and applied for an EA position, you would make $15 an hour starting wage. And the highest you will make is $16 an hour wage. That's where you will top out. Whereas if you have a certificate, there's different levels that you could end up on because every district pays slightly different. So we can give an average and a median and a high level that you could potentially be making. So we'll start at the low or the median, they call it. So $18.67 an hour. The next level up is $19.04 an hour, and the next level up is $23.62 an hour. So somewhere in there is what you would be making as a starting EA. And then you would finish making either $30.96 an hour or $24.75 an hour or $24.32 an hour. So again, I got this from the alis.alberta.ca website. So if you want to go read some more about that, that would be great. The working conditions, typically you're working in a school, so you generally start around August, and you typically work up until the end of June normally. Sometimes you might slip into July, but it would only be a couple of days if that occurs. So typically you start in August and go to basically when your kids take off for summer. If you have children, if you don't have children, then, well, when other children go for summer. Educational assistants work approximately 6 weeks off during the summer. And what typically happens is your school will let you go as a EA. And don't be surprised when they do that, because every school district does that. The reason they do that is so that you can get EI during the summer, because you're off for such a long period of time, you need to get some sort of income. So you apply for unemployment during those 6 weeks, and then you'll be hired back near the end of that, and then you go back to working in the school. So you'll get paid by the school, and then you'll get paid by EI. And it just rotates like that. So don't be afraid when they let you go. That's typical, it's normal, it's what generally happens. Education assistant starts their school day before the students get there. So you'll be there probably 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes before the students are there. And then you'll stay there about the same at the end of the day. So typically before the buses get there, you have to be at the school, and typically after the buses leave, you can go then. But you have to check with your administration on what time you have to be there and what time you can leave at. Every district is different. So I can't say 100% you start at this time and you finish at this time. A career as an EA is a rewarding but physically and emotionally demanding career. Every job is different depending on the students that you work with. So sometimes you work with small numbers of students, sometimes you work with large numbers of students, and we can't actually tell you who you're going to work with until you work with them. You can work with small groups of children, you can work with large groups of children, you can work with developmentally delayed children, learning disabled children, children with severe disabilities or children with mild disabilities. You could also work with children from other countries whose first language is non-English. So, or it could be children from our country who speak a different language. So that happens all the time. So you can work with various types of children in this program. And every day is typically different from the previous day, which if you're like me, I like change. So I'm good with that. If change is not something that you're good with, then maybe consider something else. But it's a good program to be in. With the EA program, these are the courses that we offer. So it's 3 terms typically, term 1, 2, and 3. This is a full-time course load. So if you're part-time, it would be only 1 or 2 courses per term, and it would stretch over a few years. If you're going the full-term route, you typically start in sometimes August, sometimes September, depending on the year, and you go up until June in this program. So it's not quite a full year, it's a little less. But these are the courses that we offer. Term 1 is a child development course. It's a beginning child development. So it's when the baby is in the mom's stomach still to the time they come out to the time that they leave school. So roughly around age 18. So that's what the program covers, the changes in the child's life, and then once they become an adolescent. English 1000 is one of those university studies courses that I was talking about. That's an introduction to English language and literature. So think back to high school and your language arts class is kind of a continuation of there. There's lots of reading involved in that course. Then you have the EDAS 0108 course, which is an introduction to exceptionalities. So this is where you learn about what you can do with some students who have exceptionality. So we typically deal with a few big name type of disabilities, like education assistants work with kids who have FASD, which is fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. And they also work with kids who are autistic, and they also work with kids who are ODD, which is oppositional defiant disorder. And so those are like some of the big ones that we talk about. And we also talk about other ones as well. So we go through what the exceptionalities are, what to look for, what's to be expected, what the kids typically do. And then you have another that continues in term 2 called 118, which I'll talk about in just a second. Another course that's offered is Leadership 0180. Which is also another university studies course. It's a typical leadership course. So as an EA in a classroom, you are technically a leader. The teacher is a leader, and so are you. So it's a really good course to help you become a leader, and it specifically focuses on helping professions. So it's a really nice course to get you into that. And again, there's quite a bit of reading with that course. And the one that everybody loves about the first term is the EDAS 0109, which is the very first practicum. And that comes with seminars along with the practicum. So you actually get to go out of the college and go into schools, and you can help us find your practicums by showing us where the schools are in your area, possibly talking to the schools and helping set up practicums. And if you're not comfortable doing that, we can do that on your behalf. Term 2 is Computers 2100, which is another university studies course. So that is a course that's transferable if you want to take university courses for any reason. It's an introduction to educational computer applications, which is kind of a nice thing to know. Computers are part of our lives and probably will be for the foreseeable future. Communications 1000 is interpersonal communications for the helping professions. So if communication is not your bag, you can learn how to communicate in this course. That one I also think is a university transfer course, the communications course. EDAS 0106 is a beginning math course. It's called Math Development and Instructional Strategies. So kids who struggle with math, we take them from the beginning of math, so learning numbers, number sense, and stuff like that. And we take you up into addition and subtraction, multiplication and division, and beyond. So kids who struggle in this area, we have you go through a bunch of different websites looking at what you can use in classrooms. And you also develop a game in this course that you can use with whatever level that you choose to work with. And we give you a bunch of different instructional strategies to how to improve the students that you're working with, their math skills. EDS 0102 is effectively managing behavior in educational settings. This is a behavior course, so we teach you how to help children who are struggling to do what the teacher is asking in the classroom. We give you different classroom management tips, things to look for, different strategies to try, and stuff like that. So that's a really beneficial course for you, especially if you don't have any skills in that area. The last one in term 2 is the one I talked about before, the EDAS 0118. This is working with children with exceptionalities. So There's typically 2 instructors for this course. So one instructor talks about more school-related stuff to do with exceptionalities, and the other part focuses more on resiliency and PTSD in students and stuff like that. So it's kind of a fun course, and you get to learn a lot about the exceptionalities that you first experience in 108. So some of those topics continue, and some you learn even more about those. So it's a fun little course. Term 3, we have the communications course again offered, because sometimes people miss it in term 1 or term 2. So if you miss it in one of those terms, then you will take it in term 3. The second practicum is typically done in term 3. So EDS 0119 is the second practicum. And that's the real fun one, because this one you actually get into the classroom, you get to actually become an EA in the classroom, and you'll form bonds with students and teachers, and you'll just have a great experience. At least everybody I know who has done the practicum, I come out at the other side going, yes, this is what I want to do. So hopefully that is you as well. And my dog wants attention right now. He's like, everybody's gone. Anyway, the program duration and admission. Typically, students spend 1 year to complete this program. Well, a little less than a year. However, you could take up to 3 years as a part-time student doing this course or this program. To gain entry into the EA program, students must meet the English and math requirements. Once admitted to the program, there may be additional requirements depending on the stream that you choose. The admission requirements: you need credit in English 30-1 or 60% in English 30-2, or credit in English 0190, or successfully complete an English equivalency assessment comprised of a vocabulary test and an essay. Credit in Math 10C or Math 10-3 or Math 10 0190, or successfully complete an academic skills appraisal for the math requirement. The college uses a program called AccuPlacer to assist in planning for courses of study. Other important information is fluency in English. Now, if you notice, the practicum agencies may require an up-to-date police information check, and when you do this, you need to get the vulnerable sector checked off on that. Otherwise, the schools won't let you in. So make sure it says vulnerable sector and get them to do that part as well. Sometimes they just automatically say, do you need it? And you'll go, yes, I do. The inability to present a clear vulnerability check means the student may not be able to complete the requirements of the programs, because a lot of principals will not let you in the building unless you have one of these. Even I'm not allowed to go in the building unless I get one filled out. So I can't even go check up on you unless I have that filled out. So it even works on my level, and they know me. Contact the program advisor for further information if this is you, because there might be a way around it, and you'll just have to fill in some paperwork and hopefully they clear your name. Learning at the college. We typically do a supported delivery model. We call it online, anytime, anywhere. So every class is recorded. We typically use a couple programs here. This is Blackboard Collaborate that I'm on right now. And if you were actually here, we could interact through this whiteboard. There's some tools here that I could show you, but you're not here, so I can't really show you those tools. Another program that we use is called Brightspace D2l. And that's kind of where you keep your classroom material. So all of your unit materials would be there. So all the readings would be listed there. All your assignments are listed there. Any readings for that week or that unit are stored there. Any videos or articles or anything like that, that's all stored in that area, and it's there for the entire term. Some teachers or instructors like to open it up section by section. That's how I run my classes. Others have the whole thing open at the very start. It's just instructor preference. So depending on who you have, depends on what you will see when you open it up. We record every class as best as we can. Sometimes the classes drop for some reason and you only get a partial recording. Some instructors will go and do another recording to make up for whatever was dropped, and others might just give you the closed notes. So either way, you'll have what you missed. So we try to be very accommodating in here because we know almost everybody is doing this at a distance and everybody's internet speeds are slightly different, and some internet are better than others. Because I live in the middle of nowhere, my internet's not the greatest. When I'm in town, it's a little bit better. If I'm in other locations like a city, it might be even better. So it just depends on where you are, the time of year. If it's snowing or windy out, it all affects the internet, it seems like. Anyway, the cost for the program, you're probably wondering. The total for a full-time student is $4,879.56. So if you break it down into term 1, 2, and 3, the first term is the most expensive with $2,371.12. Term 2 is $2,226.64. And the last term, which is typically your practicum, is $392.80. Fees are broken down on the next slide. And I just want to make a note that this is for this year. I don't know how much it will cost next year. It might stay the same or it might go up. So the cost per course is for the 2021-2022 year, and it might increase for the 22-23 academic year. We don't know at this point. So this is a list of all the fees and how they're broken down. It has a tuition rate, the tuition, the students association rate, the students association, the technology fee, and then the total cost in the final column. And all of our courses are 3 credits except for the practicum. The practicum is 2 for part 1 and part 2. So the tuition rate is $123.40. And the tuition would be $370.20 for a total of $394.20 roughly per course. Some courses are a little bit more than others, like the Introduction to English Language and Literature is a little bit higher. It's at $401.52. And the practicum's a little less at $262.80. So it just depends on which course you're taking. But all the numbers are there. So the total credits, total tuition, and all of that is there. There are some mandatory fees, which if you are signing up tonight for this course, you have one of them waived, actually, which I'll talk about on another slide. The technology fee is a mandatory fee of $130 per term if you're a full-time student, and it's $65 per term if you're a part-time student. The technology fee is charged to all students in support of technical support, computer equipment, and distance delivery. The book list for courses related to this program can be found on the program page on the NLC website under Program Resources. It's the responsibility of the student to purchase all the required textbooks for enrolled courses. We put them online, and so as soon as you're registered in the course, you'll have access to that document, and then you'll find the books in a list and some possible places to get them, and then you purchase them that way and get them shipped to your house, or you can get e-textbooks sometimes, and for some courses there aren't textbooks, so for those ones, it's kind of nice because then you don't have to hunt the books down. It's the responsibility of the student to purchase all the required textbooks for the enrolled courses. The cost of the textbooks are not included in this fee estimate because depending on where you buy your books from, it could be more expensive, or if you get used copies, it can be a lot less than the textbook cost for a new one. So we can't give you an estimate based on that. A non-refundable deposit or the commitment fee is required to secure a seat in this program. If the fee has been paid, please deduct that amount from the first term tuition when making payment. And that's the fee that I was talking about. So for today only, if you register, the college is waiving that $50 application fee or the commitment fee. And so I think that's a really good deal because I don't know about you, but with gas prices going up and food prices going up and everything seeming to increase, my pay has stayed the same. So if $50 more is in my wallet, that's a good thing for me. So if it's good for me, I think it's good for you. So hopefully you sign up today. And don't forget to enter the draws for the water bottle or the bag. The water bottle looks really cool. It comes with a bamboo lid. I've never seen a water bottle like that before. They just sent us the picture, so I don't actually know how big that is, but it looks really nice in this picture. And the backpack looks really nice too. So don't forget to enter for that draw, and hopefully you win. Maybe you'll get the water bottle or the bag, or maybe you'll get both. Anyway, good luck on that. Don't forget to enter the draw though. If you want to know more about the EA program, you can contact the program advisor. Her name is Heidi Panich. Her phone number is 1-866-652-3456, extension 8325. Her email is panich@northernlakescollege.ca, or you can visit our website here at this link here. So you can probably just put in Northern Lakes College and then in a search put EA program. It's probably easier and faster than trying to remember this link, or you can click this link. And that's all I have for you. So there's no one here, so I can't answer any questions. So if you have questions and you want to know more, Heidi is the person to contact. Thank you for listening to this presentation. Again, my name is Gregory Malcolm, and I hope you choose the EA program. I look forward to seeing you in my courses. Have a great day, or night, or morning, whenever you listen to this. See you later.